expertise seeing this bill through. I want to start with a really high-level question about the logic of the bill before we dive into what is an extensive area of detail. And it's this. What are we regulating? Are we regulating processes or outcomes and risks? And I see elements of the bill that are trying to do either. And if I, to take a very, the working understanding you get of genetics as a medical professional, I'm core learning that one small change, one nucleotide change, can lead to a total change in a protein's function. Yet parts of the bill seem to be saying, well, we'll view certain processes as low risk because they're similar to what could occur naturally. And of course, these one nucleotide changes do occur naturally. And yet the result of them can be quite significant. So that's what I'm trying to understand there. What are we regulating, the process or the outcome?
Yeah, I think it's a good question. I think parts of the bill do both. For example, we talk about gene editing, the process and the technique. But if we look at the exempt category, it's actually to make decisions around the outcome. We say that those techniques that generate an outcome that conventional methods also generate, that will exempt them. So that's very outcome focused. The parts of the bill, as you described, do talk about process. And would you like to talk to that?
Of course, there's some existing processes under HASNO Act that are exempt, like UV irradiation of organisms, which causes many genetic changes, and chemical mutagenesis is also exempt currently under the HASNO Act. So the intention is to carry that forward into the new Act as well. The gene editing provisions are outcome-based, not process-based.
Yeah, if I could respond, one, of course, CRISPR has been developed since all of those acts were in place. So I don't find arguments about what the existing law is particularly compelling when we're dealing with a new technology. So continue to try work through this concern as we go on.
So what was the point you were making that CRISPR has come on since HASNO? Was it 2012, I think, wasn't it? And HASNO was 94, I think. So I think it's just part of what we're trying to update, trying to bring these modern technologies into account.
All right, now I'm going to go to Deborah and then Hamish.
Okay, so Ayesha's given her questions.
Okay. Well, I just want to say that Ayesha Verrall, her questions were relevant because she talks about proteins. And there's, over 2,000 proteins that have unknown function. So if you're going to feed a body with genetically engineered food and you don't know what 2,000 of the proteins in the body do, then you're not actually sure what you're doing. And science has no idea what over 30% of the proteins in the body do. And I researched all that before I did my oral presentation. So, so that's why we need the precautionary principle on genetic engineering. I mean, it's obvious, in my opinion.
Another, I thought the question of the CRISPR and how they he slid away from the answer and passed it on to his sidekick. UV radiation and mutagenesis are tightly controlled, and you actually have to have approval for your laboratory in everything you do. So he's actually deliberately muddying the waters. It is great that they are they've improved it to allow it into the regulation. However, as Lisa says, they're getting rid of the precautionary approach, which is in the existing legislation, is probably one of the worst things that this bill does.
Thanks for watching. Make sure you're subscribed to our Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Instagram, TikTok, News Guide, the Order Paper Podcast.